Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Blue Whale and welcome back to another Why Did I Lose? And today we're going to be playing Nidalee. Now, first off, I'm not good at Nidalee, okay? I'll just say that straight up. I've been trying to learn her because a lot of you guys have been asking for Nidalee videos, like a Nidalee guide or maybe a Nidalee live or anything like that. So I'm trying to learn her, but I'm not that great at her. As far as the runes and masteries, I'm using, and the build, it's all going to be what Medios does currently, because that's what I do when I'm learning a champion. I just copy a pro, and then do exactly what they do, and then you might branch out later, you know. So, got it from him. The gameplay, it's not going to be that bad, but I'm just not great at Nidalee, so just know that before you watch this. But anyways, we can see what I did wrong. I can still analyze my mistakes throughout a game for sure. So, we'll do that, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, so here we are in the game. And the first thing I want you guys to notice is that Nidalee was a very bad pick this game. By the way, the music, it might be kind of quiet, I hope it's not too quiet, is the Lily Cove City remix, and there'll be a link in the description, of course, if you want to listen to it outside of this video. But now, back to the game. Nidalee was not a great pick this game. I hope you guys can see why, but if you can't, I'm going to tell you anyways. Our team has 0 CC on our team. There is absolutely no CC. And I don't actually remember, but according to this, I was one of the last picks, so I definitely could have prevented this. However, I'm pretty sure I just greedily picked Nidalee because I'm trying to learn her, so I wasn't really caring about my team comp. But right off the bat, the team comp's bad. Okay, no lane has very good CC, and the only lane that has semi-decent CC is bot lane, because they have a couple of slows and Jen is knockup. So is Nidalee, a champion that has 0 CC on her own, that's where you want to be focusing your ganks. As far as skills, I get W at level 1, and then the reason that you get your W at level 1 is because, 1, you can place a few traps, and then you can snare monsters a lot easier with it. And if they're snared, you can get out of their range and they won't hit you. And then also, your Cougar form resets if you jump onto a trapped target. Well, they don't have to be trapped, but anyways, you guys know the Cougar form resets, and even though Q does a little bit more damage straight up, if you get the resets on W, it does more damage in the long run. So that's why people start W first on Nidalee. But anyways, just play some traps like I did. They don't have to be exactly in this order, and my order probably isn't the perfect one anyways. And then the main thing about Nidalee is that you should be clearing the jungle with pretty high life, and the way you do that is just go into your human form and auto attack from a distance, and that way you won't take too much damage from the monster camps. I am going to butcher it, so I'm just going to speed it up. The idea is that you can use human form to not take that much damage, and you'll come out of the jungle pretty high life. As far as blue buff goes, I did kind of butcher it, so I leave it about half health, but by the time I finish red buff, I'll be pretty much full life. So that's your Q and Cougar form is an auto reset, and you do get your E at level 3 because 1, swipe is pretty good for clearing, and then 2, the heal will keep you full life in the jungle. But other than that, that's pretty much my extent on Nidalee jungle knowledge. It's really not hard to clear at all once you get your first jungle item, but until then, that's pretty much it. But yeah, as you can see, by the time I'm leaving red, I'm full life. However, my first mistake, I'm already making a mistake. I'm trying to gank mid where 1, my Talon is pushed, as you can see by this, and then 2, neither me or Talon have any real CC for Yasuo. So even if Yasuo was pushed, we probably still couldn't kill him anyways. Now I'm going to go back to farming, and a lot of what you're going to see this game is just me farming a lot, which might be kind of boring for you guys. I can speed it up. And then there I just healed Fiora just to help her out a little bit in lane, but for the most part I'm going to waste a lot of time farming when I should have just been bot. One thing about Nidalee is that your Cougar form can go over small walls, as I'm sure most of you guys know. So what you can do is go around the dragon wall. I'll slow it down a little bit. You can jump over right here at the dragon wall, and then that's a really easy gank for bot lane. If their bot lane pushes, which look where they are right now, and I jump over this wall, it's such easy cutoff. And that's what I should have been doing pretty much all game. I should have been ganking bot. But you're going to see, 1, I don't gank bot very much, and then 2, the times that I do go bot, I come from our side of the jungle, which on Nidalee, it's the exact same as Lee Sin. You can go over the dragon wall, so why wouldn't you? So that was one of the biggest mistakes I made this game. And then the second mistake was that, so Nidalee is really considered an early game jungler. This game I'm actually going to pick up a lot late game. So it's not going to be all boring, I don't do anything. I do a lot at about 20 minutes, maybe more than that. But anyways, until then, I didn't do much, and that's really not what you're trying to do on Nidalee. She's super fast at clearing, and then 2, she's really good at invading, because if you can hit your Qs, 1, you can outduel most junglers, and then 2, even if you can't outduel them, you can just kill it and then escape, because you're so slippery as Nidalee. But this game, and then here was just a really greedy death on my part. My Talon was already losing lane, and he wasn't even mid at the time. He had roamed. So 1, their mid laner was already ahead. I knew that. And then 2, my Talon can't even back me up. So there's no reason for me to be fighting over a scuttle with Sejuani when there's no chance of me getting help from my mid laner. But anyways, I did farm pretty efficiently this game, and that's good, but it's just not good enough on Nidalee, especially when I picked her into such a disadvantaged team comp. I really should have been in Sejuani's jungle, punishing her as much as I could. And here you're going to see a gank, quote-quote, bot lane, but once again, I'm coming from our side of the jungle, and that's just simply not going to work. I hope that 4x speed isn't too fast for you guys. This game was 35 minutes long, and I don't want to drag it out too long, but I guess we can do double speed. Double speed shouldn't be a big deal. So, I've ganked 1 time, and the only other thing I've done this game is die to Sejuani and Yasuo. So I have not done anything on Nidalee. Even if you can't find ganks, so like this game, my team, there wasn't really a good lane for me to gank. Bot lane was the best one, but that's not even a good lane to gank. Then I should just be invading. Then you should just be invading as much as you can. You don't want to invade, in scenarios like this, you don't want to invade where you're going to put yourself at a bad position if the enemy junglers come. So basically what I'd want to do is invade where Sejuani isn't. Not looking to fight Sejuani because my team's not going to be able to back me up. But I still could have cleared a lot of her jungle and put her a little bit behind, put me a little bit ahead. I just ganked top, as you guys saw. We did get Shin's flash, so I try to come from a return gank, because if somebody flashes, you're supposed to return gank. That's just like one of the top rules of jungling. However, Shin's farming on his turret, so we can't do much, and then my Fiora leaves, and then I was really greedy trying to go for a second camp of Sejuani's when I didn't know where she was. However, it is 2 tanks, so they're not going to be able to kill me, and I am running pretty tanky runes and masteries. But, even though they couldn't kill me, I, without any vision, was way too greedy, started doing my raptors. I had no idea if they had it warded or not. I don't think I even smited the raptors there. Yeah, my smite's still up, so I probably didn't smite the raptors. And then Sejuani just comes and kills me, which, it's not that I should have expected Sejuani to be there. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, you shouldn't necessarily expect her to not be there. You know, I didn't have any vision, so why would I expect her to be somewhere else, right? Just another mistake on my part. However, I do start the dragon. I was pretty sure they didn't have it warded, and even though they did, their jungler is not around, so hopefully I should be able to get it. I'll slow it down to 1 speed. My Twitch comes in, and since Sejuani isn't here, we are going to be able to get this dragon. It was just really, really messy. However, do know that your Q is an execute on Nidalee in Cougar form, so you can time that with your smite and have a more powerful than average smite. I do get the dragon, then Morgana snares me, but if you're playing as Nidalee and you run into the jungle, no one's going to be able to catch you, because that's how Nidalee works. She always escapes in the jungle. So that's what I do. I leave, and we'll speed it back up. And I'm just going to go back to farming once again. And I just can't, it's just like in the Rek'Sai, why did I lose? If you watch that, well, in the Rek'Sai, why did I lose? I let a Nasus have a free lane. And in this game, I didn't punish Sejuani at all for playing a weak jungler. Even though I couldn't beat her in a fight straight up, because she would probably just be too tanky for me to kill, I can definitely punish her by taking her jungle, and I just didn't do that this game. And then I didn't even help any of my teammates. All that I've done this game is feed the enemies. And that's pretty much it. So, like I said, I am going to pick up, and my final score, I won't say it, but it is much, much better than 0-2-0. But until then, as an early game jungler, I didn't make any impact this game. As far as the build goes, I guess we can talk about that right now, because I don't think anything's going to happen for a little bit. It's Runic Echoes into Iceborne Gauntlets into Rylai's. And the reason that you can go Runic Echoes into Gauntlets is because you take Strength of the Ages, so you're going to be pretty tanky. And while it's not important to be super tanky on Nidalee, there's not a champion in the game that you just want to build damage items and not get any health on. You know, you have to get health as a jungler pretty much. But when you get Strength of the Ages, then you don't have to build it on an item, because you kind of built it on your masteries, if that makes sense. Here, I come with Fiora, and we are going to take top, but in the meantime, the enemy team is going to get a lot of damage on our mid turret. They might actually take it. I'm not 100% sure, but we do get a turret, so that's good, because that's the first turret that we've gotten. That's another thing. We've mentioned this before, and why did I lose is a big reason that I lose games, and we'll slow this down a little bit. They're going way too aggro right here. Even though they're really far ahead, they're still in our base before 20 minutes trying to turret dive us, and we're not losing that badly. I mean, we're losing pretty bad, but not that badly. However, my Twitch doesn't play it right. He should have been doing what I was doing, and that was kind of just hanging out in the back and then kiting in when they were on cooldown. However, my Twitch, like I said, doesn't really do the right thing. He's going to die early, and then since he was dead, I was out of place, and I didn't run away immediately. I'm going to die. Talon comes in. He does get the Lucian, but he dies in the process too. So the good news is that I finally have 2 assists, so I've technically done something this game, but the bad news is that it's looking pretty rough. This game was definitely looking pretty rough. We've only gotten 1 turret. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about before the fight. Turrets are a big deal. You guys should know that. That turrets are pretty much the most important thing about Season 6, is you gotta push down turrets. And if you only have 1 turret by 18 minutes, 1, you're losing. You're probably gonna lose that game. And then 2, you obviously didn't do your job early. Even if I couldn't have got a gank that, even if my ganks wouldn't have resulted in kills, I still could have gone to a lane, pressured the enemy laners out, and then gotten turrets that way. But I just didn't do any of that, and that was a major portion of why I lost. So I might mention it a few more times, but for this video, I think we'll focus more on what's happening in the game instead of why I lost, because I can tell you guys why I lost. I lost because I didn't gank bot enough, and since I wasn't ganking, I should have been pressuring the enemy jungler, but I didn't do that earlier either. So that resulted in a loss. But as far as the game goes, the enemy team has Rift Herald, and they're trying to push our turret. We'll slow it down a little bit. They do get the turret, but in the meantime, Twitch was wailing on all of them. And since my team looks like they're winning it back at the turret, I'm going to chase down the Shin. I do get the Shin, and then I am going to chase down this Morgana here. But it's going to take, I think, like 3 minutes of game time. And that isn't necessarily good gameplay. Not going to lie, it's pretty much a waste to chase someone for this amount of time. I could have done Dragon in the meantime, and that would have been worth more gold than killing a support, especially since the enemy team didn't have a Dragon. But at least I do get the Morgana. See, I hit a blind snipe here, and I am going to kill her. But now, since Dragon was up, 1, I do the red, which is okay, and then I do the Krugs. This was another mistake. Dragon's up, my blue is up, so I could go secure the blue and go for Dragon, but instead I cleared red buff, which is okay, but then Krugs have no priority over Dragon. There's no reason to clear the Krugs. The reason I did clear the Krugs was just because that's kind of an automatic jungle clearing for me, because, you know, sweeps, you should usually always do sweeps, but not when Dragon's up. And one way that we could have won this game, not very likely, but if we had completely denied them Dragons and they didn't get that damage boost, that might have gave us an edge towards the late game. But anyways, Talon kills the Lucian, but in the meantime, Fiora dies and Twitch has already died, so this fight's not going well. Janna also dies because I think she got hit by a snare, and then all I'm doing is running away. I do hit a snipe on the Yasuo, so that was kind of funny, but other than that, I can't do anything. I can't 3v1 as Nidalee, so I'm just going to have to shoot my Q at them while I can, and we'll watch Sejuani instead of me, so you can get a better idea of where my spears hit. But basically, I just have to watch them take the inhibitor, and in the meantime, I'll clear minions, because if I run into this, it's going to be Sejuani CC into Shin Taunt into a Morgana Snare, and then I'm just going to die. So there's no reason for me to feed here. I'm just going to clear what I can, and then now that my team's coming up, I'll try to chase him a little bit, but enemy team's not going to let me do that, so I'm just going to go back to base. So, yeah, speed back up a little bit. As far as what our team could do to win this game, and, okay, we get in a fight. I'm about to kill the Sejuani, but then Shin hits a taunt on me. In the meantime, Fiora goes and kills the Sejuani, and then I heal the Talon right before he's about to die, so he doesn't die, and then we're able to kill the Shin. So overall, that fight went pretty well. As far as what our team needs to do to win this game, we're not going to win it. Obviously, it's a why did I lose, but what we could have done is just delay. We were winning this fight, and this fight's fine. Nothing's wrong with this fight at all. But the fact that we have 2 inhibitors down means that we need to just delay the game as much as we can, wait for our inhibitors to come up, and then maybe catch the enemy doing a bad Baron and kill them there. That's one way to always get back to a game. If you catch the enemy doing a Baron, can always get back in like that. Or we just need to wait and take kind of sneak turrets whenever we can. So Twitch is working on bot. I don't think he actually gets that turret. I'm not sure, but if he does, that's the kind of playstyle that we need. Mostly defensive, and then we can punish the enemies for showing somewhere on the map. So since we had killed 2 and we see Yasuo's top, Twitch is pretty clear to push bot. You know, things like that. Speed it back up. However, me, all I did was pretty much farm this game. That was it. I said this actually in the Echo Live, I think? The Live Echo. You can't do this as a jungler. Definitely contributed to my loss. Even though my score at the end of this game is going to look really pretty, you don't outscale laners as a jungler pretty much any time. Here, my team gets caught by Yasuo ult, so they're almost all about to die. However, they don't die. Janna hits a good ult, and then I'm healing people whenever I can. I save the Talon, and then I come to try to save the Twitch because he's in a really bad spot. He gets away, which is fine, and then now I have to run away because Fiora died, Janna died, so now it's a 3v4, and we're already losing. So there's no way you can fight a 3v4 when you're already losing. So I'm just going to leave. Go back to farming. I do hit a Q on Lucian, so I go in on him, I get the kill, and then it looks like I'm going to die to these 2 tanks, but then again I am Nidalee, so they're not going to be able to chase me down and kill me. So as soon as I see that they turn around, I go back into the base, and now our main focus as a team is just making sure that this Nexus turret does not die. Because if this Nexus turret dies, then pretty much all hope is lost. All the enemy team has to do at that point, since they're already winning team fights, if we lose this Nexus turret, that means that they can just come in, win a team fight, even if they just barely win it. We'll still have an open Nexus, and they'll probably be able to get it in that time. So number 1 focus for our team should be saving this turret, waiting for our inhibitors to get back. And the number 2 focus can be trying to catch them doing a bad Baron, because since the enemy team wasn't, all they had to do was win 1 team fight and they could win, but they haven't been winning team fights very cleanly, so they're probably going to try to do Baron. Then here, I almost killed the Shin, however the Sejuani actually interrupts my pounce with her Q, which is pretty well played on her part. And then because of that, I'm not going to be able to do too much, but I am going to try to be as annoying as possible on Nidalee because she has the flexibility to do so. So I do that, but not much is going to come out of it. But yeah, all our team had to do was play defensive, make sure our turret doesn't die, and try to catch the enemy team doing a Baron, because they're inevitably going to try Baron. Since they weren't able to end, they're going to try it. They start a team fight though in our base. Sejuani hits a really good 3-man ult. I heal the Talon to make sure that he's not going to die to anything. Shin taunts the Janna, and then since it's a 4v5, they're going to try to go kind of crazy, dive our turrets. However, no one's able to get to Twitch, so Twitch has been wailing on them this whole time. Talon goes in to clean up the targets that are low from Twitch. In the meanwhile, me and Fiora peel for Twitch so that he stays alive, and then overall we lose 2 and they lose 2. So it's okay. We're still winning this team fight overall though, because me and Fiora are pretty strong. Fiora almost kills Lucian. I almost snipe him, however he gets away just barely. I use my gauntlet slow on the Morgana to try to catch her, but then she hits a good snare, so there's not much I can do at this point. So once again, back to clearing. I think during that fight, our Nexus turret did die. So now, this game is looking pretty hopeless. Don't ever say that in a game. You know, don't say, oh, there's no way you can win this game. You can think it, just don't say it to your teammates. But as far as you guys, yeah, this game's pretty much over at this point. But we'll keep talking about it, of course. The enemy team appears to be doing Baron because we have wards. We saw them go for the Baron, and Nidalee should be able to steal this. I'll actually slow it down as slow as I can. What happens is I jump in, I smite it with 250 life left. So I just smited it a little bit too early. What I should have done is jumped, E'd, and then smited it. However, in the meantime, the whole enemy team got the Baron debuff. I don't know if you guys know what the Baron debuff is, but basically Baron reduces your resistances while you do it. And that's why Baron's able to do damage to you, and that's why getting caught at Baron's a really bad thing. So, since they all have the Baron debuff on them, even though they just got the Baron buff, they barely have any resistances. So Talon comes in, does 50,000 damage to everyone, gets a few kills, and then really it's just cleanup crew for our team. So I get a double kill. I think Twitch maybe got a kill there too. That went pretty well. Unfortunately, they still have 1 Baron, but our team's going to be able to get a few turrets off of this, and we're not going to lose our base because Fiora went back. So this past minute has been very, very good for our team, but it's not going to be so good that we're going to come back from this. However, we do get a turret or two. I think we leave this turret just to be safe. Probably should have gone for the turret there, because even though it would have been really risky, you know, we don't have any turrets up. We're losing horrendously bad, so you might as well go for a risky play that might pay off big instead of trying to play it slow when you're bound to lose eventually by playing it slow. So really, if this had been a pre-made 5, I would have told my friends, we're taking this turret regardless of how bad it might seem, but you know, you can't tell people to do that in solo queue. You just gotta do what your team wants to do. Here they're sieging our inhibitors. They're playing this as well as they can. They have a Baron up, so all they have to do is siege kind of slowly, get our 3 inhibitors down, and then even if our team wins a team fight, we still have to completely defend the Nexus, so they're kind of free to do whatever they want, as long as they get this inhibitor, which they are going to be able to do. Here's, in this late game, is where a big fault of our team started to shine. We don't have an initiator tank CC at all. I mean, I was really tanky, Fiora was really tanky, but basically, all we can do is kind of poke, and then in the meantime, the enemy can initiate on us whenever they want. However, Sejuani hits a 3-man stun, but Yasuo does not follow up with his ultimate, so we're going to be able to pretty much kill everyone because of that. And then in the meantime, we have to go defend this Nexus, because like I said, when we have all 3 inhibitors down, even if you win a fight, which we did win this fight very handily, still got to defend the Nexus. So we come back to defend the Nexus. It's not going to die yet. We still got another 3 minutes in the game. And as far as that team fight went, Sejuani did a really good initiation, but her team just didn't follow up on it. Shen didn't follow up with a taunt, and Yasuo, I don't know if he didn't have his knockup up. That was kind of a fault of their team. They didn't really have anything for Yasuo to ult off of. So even though Sejuani played it really well, her team just wasn't able to follow up, so they're not going to be able to do anything. Speed it back up a little bit so this video doesn't get too lengthy. And yeah, as far as what happens in this, I just watched this replay, so I should know how the game ends, but I can't think of it now. But basically, pretty sure the way the game ends is we kind of win a fight at our base, but since we have 2 inhibitors down and no turrets, it doesn't matter if you kind of win a fight. You have to absolutely win fights. So, actually, we're just going to speed it up to 4 times. I'll slow it down if it looks like I'm getting in a fight, but basically, as a little recap for this episode, you're playing... Okay, well, we'll talk about the fight first. So, the enemy team gets too close. Twitch comes out of stealth. Sejuani hits another 4-man ult, but in the meantime, Talon's killing their backline, so they're not going to be able to follow up on that. And then, we won this fight, but what happens here is that most of our team sees that we have to defend the Nexus, because like I just told you guys, that's what we have to do. But Talon does not see that, so Talon goes in, tries to get a kill. Normally, that would have been fine. We could have followed up on Talon, and we probably could have got an ace. But when you have 2 inhibitors down and no turrets, you just can't fight this. And then our team gets baited in because they were all so low, and they start fighting. But this is just an awful fight. What we should have done is taken the Lucian kill, go back to our base, heal up, and defend the Nexus. But Talon went in. I can't really blame him. I'm not trying to blame this all on Talon. That is what happened. You guys saw that he went in. But normally it would have been fine for him to do that, and we could have probably got an ace, but since we didn't have any turrets up, we just weren't in a position to do that. Because of that, most of our team dies off, and I'm stuck trying to clear the Nexus so that it doesn't die to Winions. And now it's just me and Janna versus 3 enemies and 3 lanes of supers, so I can't even speed it up. The game's about to end. They're about to teleport in and finish it off. I think I do die one more time, so here Shen taunts me, I get CC locked, and I am going to fall. And then these 2 are going to finish it. Okay, so for a general recap of this episode, when you're playing Nidalee, some things, I'm not great at Nidalee. As you guys saw, I kind of butchered this early game, but I do know how Nidalee works. Okay, whether I can play her or not is a different story. But basically, when you're playing Nidalee, if you can't find ganks because you picked Nidalee into a team with no CC, like I did, then what you need to do is punish the enemy jungler, especially if the jungler is playing a weak champion like Sejuani. So what I could have done, even though I didn't want to fight Sejuani, and the reason I didn't want to fight Sejuani is because Yasuo and Shen were going to be able to come save her a lot easier than Fiora or Talon were going to be able to come save me. So I don't want to fight Sejuani, but what I can do is just sneak around in her jungle, take camps, and then run away because I'm Nidalee and I have absurdly high mobility. However, as you guys saw, I didn't really do that. The other flip side is that if you're not invading the jungler, which you pretty much should be on Nidalee, I should have ganked bot. As we talked about, you can go over dragon walls with Nidalee. I showed you guys the exact spot. It's the same at Baron, just flip side. We'll actually pan over there. You can go over Baron right here, by the way. I think you might be able to do it here, but this is definitely the easier spot right here. So, depending on what team you're on, maybe you need to go over a wall to get a good gank off. You can flank that way. It's pretty easy. You don't have that much CC, but if you hit your Qs, it's not that big a deal. And yeah, so that's it. Focus the lane with the highest probability of success. That for me, this game was bot lane, and punish your enemy jungler. And that's it for Nidalee. I might make a Nidalee guide sometime, but it's just not going to be anytime soon because I'm just not that great at Nidalee yet. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.